For question number 16, we're going to use the model for the period of a pendulum t such that t is equal to 2 pi times the square root of L over g, where the length of the pendulum is L and the acceleration due to gravity is g. If the acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 meters per second squared and the period equals equals 5s, find the length to the nearest centimeters, where 100 centimeters is equal to 1 meter. So, in this question, we are given values. So what are the given values? Well, we know that t is equal to 5. We know that g is equal to 9.8. And so what we're looking for is the value for L. So we're going to use our formula. We have t, which is equal to 2 pi times the square root of L divided by g. So let's plug in the known values. We know that t represents 5, and that's equal to 2 pi times the square root of L all over 9.8. So the first thing we want to do is we want to isolate the radical so that we can get L by itself. In order to do that, we need to divide both sides by 2 pi. So we have 5 over 2 pi, and that's equal to the square root of L over 9.8. Now we got to use our square root property in order to get rid of the radical sign on the right hand side. So we're going to square both sides. So we have 5 over 2 pi, square that, and that's going to equal the square of the square root of L over 9.8. So now we end up with 5 squared, which is 25, over 2 squared, which is 4 pi squared, and that's equal to L over 9.8. So now in order to solve for L, we need to multiply both sides by 9.8. Or, what you can possibly do is do the cross multiplication. So we're going to get 4 pi squared L, and that's equal to 25 times 9.8. And then now, in order to solve for L, we're going to divide both sides by 4 pi squared. And so L is going to equal 25 times 9.8 divided by 4 pi squared. Now going back to the top, it's saying here that we need to find the length to the nearest centimeter. So let's go ahead and take a look at this result. So on the calculator, we can see here that we got 25 times 9.8, and we're going to divide that by 4 times pi, and that's squared, and that gives us approximately 6.2059. Okay, so right now this is in terms of meters. And so we want to convert this 6.2059 meters to centimeters. And so in order to do that, you can see that the conversion goes from 100 centimeters is equal to 1 meter. So we're going to move this over 2 decimal places, 1 and then 2. So now we get 620.59 centimeters. And now we're going to round it to the nearest centimeter. So since it's 0.5, we're going to round up. And so the answer is going to be 621 centimeters, which is what we have for our result.